In the 1st century, the Roman poet Ovid was exiled to Constanza, in modern-day Romania, and he wrote, "By some sweetness I cannot name, our native soil pulls at all of us, and will not let us forget it." He missed his own country. In fact, out of the 39 books of his poetry which have survived, 9 of them deal with his longing for his Roman homeland. And here in Wales, I've been thinking a lot about America recently. I'm Benjamin Angwin, and what does it mean to look back upon where you were from after a lifetime outside it? At the moment, I'm making a longer video on the ancient Ligurian language, so I thought this would be a good time to bring up this subject, which has been on my mind for a while now, since the World Cup, actually, was held in 2006 in America, and something fascinating happened about that. I saw Britons, well, more English people next door, and Scots, actually. Wales wasn't in the World Cup, even though we performed better than some who were in it. I won't go into how I disagree with the ranking system in the World Cup. Okay. But I saw people going to America from this island and marveling at not so much the quality of life, though there was elements of that, but the optimism, the freedom, sometimes just the still quietness of rocking on a porch with lightning bugs out on a lawn. One guy going to an American high school and seeing what's just a normal playing pitch, a field, and thinking, this is the kind of playing field that we would have for our entire city. But it was more than that. It was the friendliness of the people, the attitudes, the warmth, and the sense that you can do anything you want if you have the work ethic and audacity and boldness to go achieve it in your life. Whereas here, in Wales and in Britain generally, there's just this heaviness that's slowly filtered down from the political establishment, I think. I'm not entirely sure. When I got here in the end of the Blair era, there was an optimism, there was a hope. At least I'm reflecting and seeing that. I don't know if it's just my youth at the time and coming to a new country, but it definitely feels like something in this country has shifted. And whilst I agree with Britain on the National Health Service, on social and cultural issues, I am a conservative. Now, don't get me wrong. The National Health Service is wonderful. It's great. But if you're not on the very bottom rung in American society, the cost of healthcare is overblown. It's exaggerated. If you can afford $300 a month, you're gonna be alright. Perfectly fine. Even as I was growing up, I went without. If I needed a doctor, I went, and if I didn't, I just kind of dealt with it. Now, that's not... I don't want to exclude the bad things that happen. They certainly do. The American healthcare system it can be quite unfortunate if you don't have a bit of money at the exact time. And this has put me at odds. You know, there are things that are genuinely better about Britain, but there are things that only now looking back I can see that are genuinely better about the United States. And as I'm building this channel, as I'm building a stock market portfolio, as I'm trying to build a business, for the first time in my life, I'm really understanding the American Revolution. Get your taxes out of my face. Let's go back to the poet Ovid. He said, "Here I am a barbarian, because I am not understood by them." Now, what do I mean by that? Well, when I say that I am glad Donald Trump won, which I am, most people here just do not get it. They look at me like I'm a barbarian, but you are the barbarian. If you still believe in this post-war, centrist, anti-nationalist, pro-globalization consensus that's making things worse for the common man and his family. And I'm finding a really hard time, anytime that politics comes up in this country, I just don't click. Now, that's not to say that there aren't things I love about this country. Absolutely. I mean, I'm gonna miss actual beer if I was to move back. I'm not saying I will move back. That's expensive. It's not gonna be soon if I do. And I've got to think, well, America's like actually 50 different countries, really. But there is a sadness here. And I don't want it to be all about money. I don't care about your Gucci bags. But look at the tax difference. I calculated it for Virginia on $24K a year, converted into dollars as well. Look at the difference. Keep in mind, in Britain, this includes council tax, which is a ridiculous tax. Basically, if you're working a minimum wage job, renting a house in Britain, you're given an extra £150 bill every month. That's not to mention various additional random taxes and red tape. Everything here is taxed. And again, I'm starting to understand the American Revolutionary War a bit. I mean, you have to draw a line somewhere with taxes. And the National Healthcare Service, if you didn't bring in hundreds of millions of people from the third world who aren't as contributing, Americans, by the way, are the immigrant group in the UK which contribute the most to the British economy. That's true, look it up. And Canadians. I will give Canadians your fair due. You contribute here too. Thank you. But why am I paying? And I know people I know will watch this video, so I'm not going to give any specific names because I don't know who is watching this video. There are people I know who have come here as a migrant, have 4 kids, do not work a job, and claim some minor emotional upset to claim benefits. Now, I'm not the kind of guy to report benefit fraud or call the police on you for trying to take care of your kids however you're trying to do it, but it's not fair. And I see a United Kingdom system which is essentially built to extract resources out of the working and native population and give it to people who simply don't care about the culture and don't want to contribute. And I've been thinking about America recently. A lot. I miss lightning bugs. I miss a sense of space. And I'm not from Virginia. But I've been thinking about Virginia, and I'm holding off on this because I've done it before in my life where I've romanticized somewhere and then spent years going to that place. No, I'm not speaking about Wales, actually. Seattle, Canada. So I'm taking it slow. I'm thinking about this. But I like how American the wider Chesapeake Bay area is. Virginia, Maryland, North Carolina. I like how American it is, and that it has a bit of history. And I like the woodland. Now, I get into medieval stuff on this channel. If you look at medieval maps, you'll notice there's always like spots for forest, like it's a forest, it's a feature of the map, like the Weald or the Black Forest, and you have clumps where there's no people. And in almost every American state you have that. You don't have that here so much. I don't have the exact numbers, but Wales is like the lowest percentage of forest land, or the UK as a whole, for I think all of Europe. If not the highest, it's way up there. Whereas every single East Coast American state is basically the equivalent of forest that Germany had in the medieval times. It's endless trails, and speaking of, like the health service, if you have a forest, there's a saying in Welsh, mynd yn ôl at dy goed, going back to your trees. It's a sense of coming back into yourself, finding well-being. I have a narrow strip of trees that way. Trees on I don't want to give too much of my location here, but I have another bit of trees a bit over and that way. One's narrow, and it's like, well, you can only get you have one path. The other one's a bit like this. It's like, I just want trails and woodland to live around that soft rolling woodland. And the east coast of the United States is chocked full of that. Now, well, you might be saying, if you're talking about homeland, you were quoting Ovid, the Roman poet. I grew up in Texas, but at the very eastern end of, Texas, but an ecosystem that stretches from the east of Texas across the south up about all the way to Philadelphia and New York. Yes, where I'm from is hotter, muggier than it would be up on that mid-Atlantic seaboard. But it's a culture common to that whole region. And I lived in Virginia. I lived in Charlottesville and Washington, D.C. Briefly, but I've been there, and it felt... I'm trying not to romanticize this. I'm trying not to get into that old habit. And so I'm taking my time, but it did feel like somewhere when I was older, I could go back to and plant roots and build a family. And I'm wondering if it's that time. Because here in Wales, I was building my social life around Welsh nationalism and Welsh activism, Welsh language activism. But I don't gel with them in any of the political sense. They're joining with what are essentially, in my view, the enemies of Western civilization, and I don't want to be a part of that. So what do I do? And I've been looking in myself. And if you read the poetry of Ovid, he's ruminating upon these meditations of home when he's on the coast of Romania. And I've been thinking about the coast of America, the wetlands, and the forests just inland. Virginia, Maryland, North Carolina, that area. Now, this is nothing I would do soon. I'm not even sure I'm going to do this, but it is on my mind. And I thought during this time, when I'm making a video on the Ligurian language, the ancient Ligurian language, which takes a lot of research and work and patience, please contribute to the channel if you want me to keep making those kinds of videos. I thought during this time when I'm working on a longer work that takes longer, I'd tell you about my present thoughts and where I am in my life. I am considering America, but it wouldn't be this year unless, I don't know, there was a disaster, like a nuclear bomb exploded in England, and yeah, let's not think about that. But speaking of England, England's going a bit crazy. And, well, I understand America's going a bit crazy, but I am thinking about America. It's been quite heavy on my heart. Maybe this is the Welsh word hiraeth. I made a video on that, if you're interested. Have you ever been to Virginia? It's quintessentially American. It's got variation within it as well. Urban in the north, hinterland with the Appalachians, lowland tidewater, classical architecture with the Georgian colonial element, kind of inland from the low water and below DC. You've got Richmond, which was the southern capital and now the state capital. You've got various towns. You've got Charlottesville, where I lived, which is a beautiful university town, and Monticello, a famous residence. But when you reach my age, and I'm 43 now, you really start to think about, where am I going to spend long term? And with the politics of Wales going as it is, and the demographics of the UK going as it is, I mean, you have the early signs of a civil conflict emerging in England. I don't want to be around that. So I'm going to have to do a lot of thinking. And I don't know what that would mean for the channel. For those of you who have made it this far in this video, would you be interested in me walking through forests in the eastern United States, in woodland, talking about things? Would you enjoy that? Let me know down in the comments, and we'll see you in the next video when we talk about the ancient Ligurian language. Diolch yn fawr iawn.